The ranchers fenced off this riparian area to prevent overgrazing by wild horses, which has become a real challenge for land managers.
When the Wild Horse and Burro Act was passed, the BLM set a number of horses that the range could sustainably handle on each allotment. And at Smith Creek Ranch, our appropriate management level is between 120 and 190 horses. So 5 years ago, the BLM gathered the wild horses down to that high end of our AML, so down to 200 head. So technically they were still over number, but they were a lot closer to the number. The BLM's estimate is that they increase by 20 to 25% every year, and so we anticipate that we have 500 plus wild horses here. And so when one of the factors is out of balance on these rangelands, it's easy for there to be degradation. It's easy for there to be damage. And that damage hopefully isn't long-term, but it still does occur.
One of the first things that I always tell people when they bring that up is that wild horses don't have any natural predators. That's one of the biggest sources of population control with a lot of, animals in general. And so honestly, the only way that a horse can die is either by humane euthanization or starvation, or old age if you get to that point. But at this point, we're so over allocated that they're all starving, and we flat out have foals that are dying. And I think people just don't realize the fact that we don't have the resources to keep these animals healthy, let alone the money to keep feeding the ones that are in our holding pens.
The thing about wild horses is that many of Nevada's horses aren't wild. They're feral horses that have been released, and there are very few that can actually be traced to a lineage that's longer than 100 years old. And the important thing that we have to remember when considering wild horses in relationship to cows and sheep is that cows and sheep are managed on rangelands. They have a specific window of time when they go onto those rangelands and a specific date when they come off. Wild horses are on rangelands year-round and are allowed to freely eat whatever there is out there. Because of that, we lose wildlife habitat and we lose forage for livestock. I'm not saying that every wild horse needs to be gone, but they do need to be managed.